Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about a movie I've never seen before, first time viewing on this beautiful Blu ray by Kino Lorber. It's a film called The Man Who Reclaimed His Head, released December 24th, Christmas Eve of 1934, starring the great Claude Rains and also Joan Bennett and Lionel Atwill. And let me tell you, this movie was quite enjoyable for me. I had a good time with it. Let me say that Universal is one of my favorite studios in the 30s and 40s. This particular movie is often lumped in with other Universal movies that are horror. But this is not a horror film, despite it having a rather lurid kind of title. And I think that's a problem. A lot of people go into this expecting a horror movie, and you should know in advance that it isn't. And then that'll make things a lot easier for you. And apparently, a lot of people in 1934 also thought that since it had Claude Rains and Lionel Atwill and it was called The Man Who Reclaimed His Head, I think they were expecting a horror movie too, and they stayed away in droves. And apparently, this movie didn't sell many tickets. Not a lot of people went in the day, and it wasn't very successful. Okay, since this movie comes out December 24th of 1934, it kind of fits very well because there's a lot of snow and snowy moments. Beautiful, actually, but it actually accompanies uh, the holiday and everything that it's in. It works if you watch it that time of year. Okay, in this movie we have Claude Rains as the main character named Paul. He's a pacifist, a laid back, easygoing type of likable person, and it occurs in 1915 during the Great War in Paris. And at the beginning, Paul trudges through a lot of snow, and bombs are exploding everywhere around him. And he goes to meet an attorney that he respects, and he's completely distraught and near hysteria. And he presents a valise to the attorney, and it's carrying something quite horrifying in it, we suspect, which is as close to horror as we get, but we don't know what. And then he begs the lawyer to defend him as he listens to his story that he's about to tell. And the story is in flashback. So we meet the great actor Lionel Atwill, who I love in anything. He plays a respected publisher named Dumont, and he tries to convince Paul to write pacifist editorials, which uh, Dumont will publish under his name. And these two have worked together before, and Paul's not too thrilled about the idea of going back with him again, but he tries it out anyway because of desperation and needing money. Meanwhile, Paul's wife, the lovely Joan Bennett, she loves her husband and also loves their little girl who they have together, but yet the wife desires some kind of a change, not really content and happy with her surroundings and where they're living. And she wants more excitement, which is, a typical type of plot in these kinds of movies and even decades later, right? The husband is too absorbed in his work, and although he's a wonderful man, she feels somehow that thinks something's missing. Well, this is a perfect opportunity for Dumont, the publisher, to start muscling in, of course, and making time with Paul's wife, in addition to him working ragged. Okay, so eventually Lionel Atwill's Dumont character becomes a celebrity of sorts, and soon, it isn't long before a munitions manufacturing group get together and entice Dumont to promote war instead of peace. And Dumont uses his influence to have Paul sent away to battle during the war. And this way, while while this is going on, Dumont can continue to make the moves on his wife, who's kind of susceptible in a way to it. And of course, all this will eventually lead Paul to crack, and we'll get back to where we started in the beginning and find out what's in that case, what happened, and etc. A lot of people could probably surmise the outcome. I really enjoyed this movie. It's a good looking film. I love the actors in here. Claude Rains. Let me tell you something. I haven't seen Claude Rains in everything, but he's always a capable actor. That's putting it mildly. He's a very good actor. This is one of the very best Claude Rains performances I have ever seen. I'll tell you. And I also think Joan Bennett was very good in this. And Lionel Atwill, he always plays 100%. He always has like some kind of a glee in his eye. You always think he's kind of seedy and, sneaky. And he plays great villains. Most of the time, he's a villain in all kinds of movies, horror movies, Abbott and Costello comedies, Sherlock Holmes, where he played Moriarty. Anything that he does. Of course, he played some good characters too. Most notably, Atwill played Inspector Krogh in the classic Son of Frankenstein. So when you have Atwill and Rains together, this may have been the only time they were together. I'm not sure about that, but it's great. We're really having a treat to see these two together, if you like this type of movie and if you like these actors. So they're really, really great. And to me, it's worth watching alone for Claude Rains' performance and his interactions with Atwill. And I'll also mention there's a few scenes in here with the actor Wallace Ford, who a lot of people won't know that name, but if you watch the movies from Universal Horrors like I did, most notably, I always mention this one first, The Mummy's Hand from 1940. Wallace Ford played a kind of comical character named Babe. And from there, anytime I've ever seen him in anything, whether it's television or movies, he's always an excitement for me to see. He's enjoyable. I always like watching him, and it's great that he's in here for added entertainment. So yeah, I would give The Man Who Reclaimed His Head out of 4 stars, a 3-star out of 4-star rating, and it's recommended for people who like old movies. But remember, it's not a horror film; it's more of a melodrama, and it's also got kind of a message. It's a message film too about war and stuff. Just as a side note, in 1945, Universal remade this movie under the title Strange Confession. It was a part of their Inner Sanctum Mysteries series that was pretty good. And it starred Lon Chaney Jr. this time in the lead role, and also J. Carrol Naish as the bad guy.